fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. For your latest news in high school sports, tune in to the fish report. Don't need no bed, don't need no pull. When you tune in to the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. You got Craig and TK and Head that deep, tune in at the fish report.
Coming to you live from Studio F in Russia, Ohio. It's the Fish Report Live Show with your hosts, Craig Fissinger and Ken Francis.
Tune in to the fish report.
Welcome, everyone, to another Fish Report Live. I'm Craig Fissinger. That's Ken Francis. We're your host, and back in our sound room, TK and Heavy D are back there like they are every week, and we'll be talking to them just a little bit later in the show. Ken, every week on this show, it seems like we're talking about state rankings, computer ratings, tournament draw. It's stuff we love talking about. I guess there's nothing like getting to the postseason in high school sports, is there?
No, there's not, Craig. And, once the postseason starts, Craig, everybody's back to 0 wins and 0 losses. Everybody has an equal chance. The regular season is great, Craig. The rankings are great. The seeds are great. But come postseason, it's a brand new season, and that's what a lot of coaches look forward to.
And we're going to be talking about the postseason with a few of our interviews tonight, aren't we?
Yes, we are, Craig. We're really looking forward to talking to Jackson Center volleyball coach Kim Metz. She's been extremely successful over there this year, as well as heading up to Fort Recovery, Craig, and talking to Coach Brent Niekamp. He's really turned that Fort Recovery program around. They're having a great year this year, as well as, Craig, our first coverage this year of one of the top teams in the state, the Russia girls cross-country team. We'll be talking to their seniors, so really looking forward to tonight's show.
A lot of postseason talk to talk about, and I can't wait to start getting into that. But before we do all that, just like we do every week, have a weekly trivia question. What do you have for me tonight?
Well, Craig, I mentioned a little bit ago, we're going to talk some Jackson Center volleyball tonight with Coach Metz. And tonight's question is, what Shelby County League team was the last volleyball team to qualify for the state tournament? So who was the last Shelby County League volleyball team to qualify for the state tournament? Was it Anna, Fort Loramie, Jackson Center, or Fairlawn?
Okay, that's a good question, and I know the other week we were talking about actually Fairlawn being the first team to qualify, but not necessarily the last.
Not necessarily the last team, but they've been there, so that's an option.
All right, well, I think I got a good answer for you, and I'll get to that at the end of the show. If you're watching us on your computer on the Fish Report Live page, you can actually scroll down, answer the trivia question on your computer there, and then check the results. And then if you're watching us on NK Telco, Cable TV, Channel 3, I know you thought this was funny last week, Ken, but I told the viewers they could yell the answer at their computer screen. So I say go ahead and yell.
Hey, whatever works. Your audience has been doing very well lately, and you seem to be fading away from them when it comes to the answer, so you might want to jump on them this week.
All right, well, I'll give us some thought. I got a good idea in mind. We'll wait to the end of the show and try to figure that one out. All right, Ken, let's get things started talking some football, and we've actually been mentioning Fort Recovery football on the show the last couple of weeks, haven't we?
Yes, we have, Craig. And, typically when you talk about the MAC, Fort Recovery Indians are not one of the teams that first come to your mind. But this year, Craig, like we said, Coach Brent Niekamp's done a great job with the team. They've been playing very well this year in the toughest small school league in Ohio.
Yeah, they sure have. And as far as the standings go, they're right up there, aren't they?
Yes, they are. We've got a big game in the MAC this week, Craig. Marion Local and Coldwater, both undefeated in the MAC. They'll be going head-to-head Friday night, which will be some kind of a game there. But right behind them, Craig, is the Fort Recovery Indians, having an outstanding season at 5-1, 3-1 in the MAC, currently tied with Versailles. Minster sitting in the middle of the pack there along with Anna and St. Henry. So, again, exciting year for the Indians in Fort Recovery. And the computer rankings, Craig, even more importantly, Fort Recovery is currently ranked number 2 in the region, aren't they?
Number 2 in Region 26, and Marion Local is right there at number 1. And, of course, those top 8 teams in that region will make the playoffs at the end of the season. So, well, Ken, Fort Recovery has never made the playoffs before. They're off to a great start, and we're going to talk about that here in just a little bit live with the head coach of the Indians, Brent Niekamp. But, they've got a tough road ahead of them. They got 4 big MAC games coming up, and it's going to take a little work to get to the playoffs, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, Craig. They've got a lot of games, tough games coming up. They've got Minster Friday night, and, they're off to a great start at 5-1 right now, Craig. But, they got their hands full and their work cut out for them coming ahead.
All right, well, we talked about that big matchup. We're trying to get Coach Niekamp on the phone right now, but we talked about that big matchup coming up this Friday night. Coldwater and Marion Local. Should be quite a battle between those two, shouldn't it?
Yeah, well, Craig, you got two defending state champions there, Craig. Between the two, they've won 5 consecutive state championships, 3 for Marion Local, I think 2 for Coldwater. They're both led by outstanding seniors in Brody Hoyne from Coldwater, who we've had on our show before, as well as the Marion Local quarterback, Dustin Reithman, who I believe we had on our show last week. So really looking forward to seeing the outcome of that game, Craig, as that one unfolds. But, you look at Coldwater on paper, Craig, a little bigger school. Sometimes you think, well, I'll give the edge to Coldwater in that game, but never count Marion Local out. They've taken it to the Cavaliers the last few years.
Yeah, we talked to Dustin Ruthman the other week on the phone, big quarterback over there. Hunter Wilker, they have a Bruns kid that's doing very well over there. J.C. Guttermiller, the list goes on. A lot of seniors, though, senior heavy, and looks like they're set up for another nice postseason run.
Yeah, it does. Like Dustin Reithman said last week, Craig, they throw it up in the air a lot of times to the Bruns boy, and he's so athletic. He's 6'7". We've seen him playing basketball last year, and he can really get up. And so, throwing it up in the air to Bruns is a great option for quarterback Dustin Reithman.
All right. Well, listen, I think we have the head coach of the Fort Recovery Indians live on the phone right now. Coach Niekamp, welcome to Fish Report Live, and thanks for joining us. I think we're still getting them on the phone there, Ken. But, like I said, Fort Recovery does have their work cut out for them. They got this game against Minster this week, and then the following week I believe they take on the Marion Local Flyers, and you got to think they're going to have to win one of those 2 games.
Yeah, I would think, Craig. Fortunately for them, they're sitting at number 2, Craig, so they do have some room to fall if they do drop a little bit in the standings. But obviously, if you're Coach Niekamp, you're going after the big win Friday night, because I noticed this week I think Minster's first or second in their region, so those would be big computer points for the Indians if they can get the win.
All right, well, I think we have him live now. Coach Niekamp, welcome to Fish Report Live, and thanks for joining us.
Hey, guys, thanks for having me.
All right, well, listen, congrats on a great start to the season. You're at the halfway point right now in the conference schedule, and last year you had an overall record of 3-7. Right now you're 5-1 so far, so you've already eclipsed last year's win total. What's turned things around for you this season?
I think it was a combination of things, actually. We've got 10 seniors this year, all of whom are contributors, all of whom play quite a bit. We get really good leadership from those guys. We've had some key guys stay healthy this year, and we've got some underclassmen who are developing and are able to spell guys and play on special teams and give us a really good look in practice. I think it's just a combination of a lot of things falling into place for us.
All right, well, we talk a little MAC football on this show, but we're used to hearing names like Brody Hoyne from Coldwater or Dustin Ruthman, I just mentioned, from Marion Local. We're not real familiar with the names up there at Fort Recovery. Can you tell us a couple of your guys that are playing well for you right now?
Yeah, Cole Hall, he's our leading rusher. I think he's got 700-something yards at this point. He's one of the top rushers in the league. I don't know exactly where he falls, but he's one of those guys that has had a hard time staying healthy early in his career. And this year he's had a whole year where he's been healthy and has been able to work out before the season and has really taken advantage of his senior year. Seth Riegel is a guy who plays on our offensive line and on defense at linebacker, who's having a great year also. He's been a starter since his freshman year, actually. Our quarterback, Caleb Martin, is just a sophomore, but he's getting better every week. And he's throwing to guys like Wes Wenning, who's a junior, and Mitch Stottman, who's a senior, who both have started in the past and are just starting to kind of break out this year also.
Coach, hi, this is Ken, and let's talk a little bit about your game Friday night. You travel to Minster. The Wildcats beat Delphus last week, same team you guys beat back in week 4. What do you know about Minster, and what causes concern for this game Friday night?
Well, Minster causes some matchup problems. mainly because of Eli Wolf. Yeah, he's I think you guys probably know about him. He's going to Eastern Michigan with Brody Hoyne. He's a big receiver. He's probably 6'3" or 6'4", about 200 pounds, and he can really run. And he's a good receiver. He runs good routes. He's got good hands. So just his size on the outside really creates a problem matchup-wise. But overall, Minster's an athletic team. They got good team speed overall. So defending them is going to be tricky. Their quarterback he's a good passer, and they do have other receivers that are good, that are very solid high school receivers. So balancing out defending those guys and making sure we're able to defend Wolf is going to be a challenge. Defensively, they play real hard, and they're fast across the board. Their running back is also their middle linebacker, the Deuce boy, and he's a good football player also. So they're just a solid team. They're like a lot of teams in the MAC. They're very well coached, and they're going to play really hard, and we're going to have to out-execute them to beat them.
Coach, like we said, you're sitting 5-1 right now. Big game Friday night at Minster. How many wins do you feel it's going to take for the Indians to make the playoffs this year in your remaining games?
Well, I think the guys who do the speculating and the computer breakdowns, I think they said that we need one more. All the teams that are left on our schedule have good enough records that I think one more gets us in for sure. But our challenge is to continue to get better each week, and to play as well as we can, and to win all these games if we can. The main thing about going through this 4-game stretch is if we're going to have a playoff opportunity, we want to make sure we're playing at our very best at the end of the season when it's going to matter.
Right.
All right, Coach. Hey, listen, one more question and we'll let you go. Now, I know this is your 10th season coaching, so you've been around a while. And one new rule that the Ohio High School implemented this year was that running clock, or that mercy rule for games that get out of hand. And Ken and I have discussed it on this show before. I want to get your opinion, though. Is that something you've ran into yet this season? And what's your thoughts on the new rule?
We have run into that a couple times. And I think that overall, it's probably a good thing. I think what it does is it probably prevents some injuries late in the game, where if one team's behind by more than 30, and they maybe are outmatched a little bit. Maybe they got some guys out. Maybe they're playing some younger kids, and I think getting the game over with a little quicker helps save those teams from injuries. And then at the same time, the team that's ahead, it helps the wear and tear on their players in the same way. So I haven't run into a situation where I thought it was a bad thing yet, and doesn't mean I won't. I mean, I thought when they first implemented, I thought that 30 points was maybe a little bit low. I always think back to the 1996 St. Henry Mogador game when St. Henry had them down 35-0 at half, and Mogador came back and won. It was, and I guess that can't happen. But when I guess when you get back underneath the 30 points, then the clock goes back to normal, and that makes sense to me. So I think overall it's probably a good thing for health-wise for the kids. For us and the teams that we play, everybody has a JV team. Most people have a freshman team, so those kids are getting to play in those games. So that mop-up time at the end isn't. I don't think that's real important. I think it's probably more important that those players are a little bit safer if you can limit the number of plays in a game like that.
All right, listen. Well, hey, Coach, that's great stuff. We want to wish you good luck this Friday against Minster, and good luck at that playoff run. And thanks for joining us on the show tonight.
Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you having me on.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck to you the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, that was the head coach of the Fort Recovery Indians, Brent Niekamp, and Ken, he brings up a good point. Winning one more game against a tough schedule against the Minster or Marion Local or someone like that probably is enough to get him in the playoffs.
Well, it probably will be, Craig. But like he said, he's not talking one win the rest of the season. They're sitting at 5-1, Craig. And right now, if I'm Coach Niekamp, I'm thinking of MAC championship potentially, and depending on who wins the Coldwater Marion Local game, and and then if Fort Recovery can beat the Marion Local, say, or something, so he's going for all wins. He wants a lot more than just one, but obviously getting into the playoffs will be a huge step for the Indians.
All right, Ken. Well, listen, that's going to do it for our football talk. Let's change gears now and talk some girls sports, in particular some girls cross country. And we're awfully excited because the SCAL championships are coming up this Saturday. And, of course, our favorite team, the Russia Raiders, is going for a three-peat, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, Craig. Russia girls have won the league championship the last 2 years, Craig, and I think it's 5 of the last 6 or 6 of the last 7. So Coach Foster's had a very successful girls program as well as a boys program ever since he's taken over the tenure for the Raiders. But it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, Craig. The race will be in Botkins, and we're really looking forward to heading over there.
All right. Well, like I said, the Russia girls team is going for a three-peat. Another interesting part about that race is Russia senior Emily Borcher is actually going for a three-peat herself. She's won the last couple years, and guys, if you can bring that up on the screen there, just showing those statistics, and is going for a three-peat herself, but she's going to have a challenge. She's going to be up against a junior from Botkins by the name of Chloe Flora. She's went head-to-head with Chloe twice this year and actually been beat by her in the preview and also at the Anna Invite last week. But we had a chance to stop in at Russia School earlier this week and talk to Emily about that, as well as 2 other seniors, Claudia Monin and Hannah Bornhorst. And let's check out the video and see what they had to say. Fish Report live here at Russia School. It's senior night, and we're talking girls cross country tonight. We're here with Russia senior Hannah Bornhorst. And Hannah, you've been part of this Russia girls cross country program for 6 years now. I know it's a competitive sport and a lot of grueling workouts. You come back year after year. What makes you enjoy the sport so much?
I just like getting to know people, and a lot of people you meet that you wouldn't usually get to know in high school. It's getting closer to everyone.
When you look back over the last 6 years, what's going to be a memory that stands out for you?
Just all the team bonding that we do throughout the years. Every year it's something different that I love. It always has to do with the team and what we do.
We're here now with senior Claudia Monin. And Claudia, it's good to be standing here talking to you, and that's because not too long ago we didn't know if you'd even be running cross country this season. You want to explain what happened a little bit?
I went to the doctor in July and I didn't get cleared, and I was pretty disappointed about it. But then I started the sports metrics program, and I got my knee strong enough to start running, so I started running about a month ago.
All right, and I know your first meet was just coming back here at Buck Creek a couple weeks ago in Springfield there. Were you nervous at all that first meet coming back?
Not really. I didn't think anybody expected too much out of me. I was just excited to start competing again.
All right, and heading into the postseason, I'd like to know what do you hope to contribute, or do you have any goals into this postseason?
Mainly just to have fun, but I want to try to add depth to the team a little bit and just run as hard as I can.
And the same question we asked Hannah, looking back over your career at Russia, is there anything that's going to stand out in particular?
Winning regionals last year was pretty fun. As a team, it was a good time.
We're here now with senior Emily Borchers. And Emily, you've got the school record here for the fastest time in cross country. You've won a state championship and track. You've seen a lot. You've done a lot here. Heading into this postseason, what's it going to take to compete with some of the top teams in Ohio?
We're going to have to pack it up and just get as close as we can to each other. And just get the pack as close to the front as possible.
All right, and I know Saturday you're heading into the Shelby County Athletic League Championship, and I know that the number one priority is obviously a team win. But let's talk about individual battles. You've got this individual battle going with a Botkins junior over there, Chloe Flora. I know she got you at the preview and got you last week at Anna. Are you looking forward to this matchup on Saturday with her again?
Yeah, it's always good to run against her, just like good competition. It always makes you run faster.
And after this is all over and you head to college next year, any plans to run?
Yeah, I'm planning on running. I'm between UD, Xavier, and Ohio State right now, but I'm hoping to make a decision pretty soon.
All right, and last question, looking back over these 4 years at Russia High School, is there any favorite memories or anything that's going to stick out for you?
I think always getting the school record will always be a big one to me, but just all the team bonding that we did is just so fun.
All right, Ken, a lot of fun talking to those seniors, and nothing more than I'm sure than they want to three-peat on that county championship.
Absolutely, Craig. Like we said before, they've been very successful, and Craig, I see no reason why if the Raiders girls run their race, they should win that race Saturday.
All right, well, that's going to do it for our cross-country talk. We're going to take a short break, but hang in there because when we come back, we're going to talk some Jackson Center volleyball, including that big interview with head coach Kim Metz and her senior Haley Elchert. We'll be back in a few minutes.
It's been a year since my baby finally gave up on me. I can't say that I blame her. She just got tired of playing losing game. I should suck on my pride and beg that girl to come back home. Deep down I know she's better off, 'cause fools like me are meant to die alone. Someone give me one good reason, one good reason to smile. I'm trying to be that guy my mother prayed that I would be. Some days I feel like hitting the mark, some days I fail hopelessly. I think I'm alright, I just stumble from time to time. Oh, my mother knows I'm trying to be that guy.
All right, welcome back to the second half of Fish Report Live, everyone, and we're going to be talking a little volleyball tonight now, Ken, and you can't really get any better than 21-0, can you?
No, you can't, Craig. And when you talk perfection, Craig, you talk to Jackson Center Lady Tigers volleyball team this year. They finished the season, regular season, with a big win over Fort Loramie last night, Craig. They went 12-0 in the Shelby County League, as well as a perfect 21-0 overall throughout the regular season.
Yeah, and they're still ranked number 2 in the latest state poll that came out this week. And two big reasons are the head coach, Kim Metz, and her senior, Haley Elchert. We're happy to have them live on the phone right now. Ladies, welcome to Fish Report Live, and thanks for joining us.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for having us. Appreciate your time and interest.
All right, well, listen, I understand you just pulled into Jackson Center, and you were watching a former player play volleyball tonight. Can we ask who you were watching?
Absolutely. I traveled up to UNOH. Casey Gates graduated in 2010 and is now playing for Madonna University in Michigan. And this was the closest that she was playing. So ended up getting a phone call and absolutely made it a priority in my schedule.
All right. Well, we certainly remember Casey Gates over here and Rushi. She did a little damage against us in her time at Jackson Center. But hey, listen, congrats on the county title and the undefeated record so far. I want to ask you, sometimes you hear people say that a loss is a good thing. How are you handling the undefeated thing with your kids? Is it pressure, Coach, or does it motivate you?
We don't even talk about it. At this stage in the game, it's great to accomplish it and to achieve a goal. But to be quite honest, we don't talk about anything. It's now moving on to what the next step is, what the second season may hold for us, and then focus in on the next goal. So, yeah, don't talk about it too much.
Ladies, hi, this is Ken. I've got a question for Haley. Haley, explain the team concept of the Tiger program. You guys play excellent team volleyball. You can see it on the court. Explain a few things how Coach Metz emphasizes the team aspect of the game.
Yeah, we do a lot of team building exercises that emphasize our team first before yourself. We have a lot of depth this year, so we all know that anybody can take our position at any time. So it's a great problem to have, but we always want to do what's best for the team. Also, Coach Metz never shows us any of our stats, so we never get caught up in ourselves. We just always play for each other.
Well, I think that's an excellent idea. Coach, I've got a question for you. The tournament starts, you're in the Troy sectional. You're the number 1 seed, of course. You take on Jefferson on Saturday. What was your strategy going into the tournament draw? Were you looking down the road some, trying to avoid a certain team here or there, and when you placed yourself in that bracket?
Well, I think you always have to look ahead, and you have to envision what possibilities are. But very early on in my coaching career, I had a great mentor by the name of Jerry Harmon. Told me to take one championship at a time. First and foremost, you always want to get a league title and put that aside if it happens, if it doesn't. But then you go on to looking for your sectional title. And then you move on for every step of the way further. But looking to get the district title is something he's been a great person to go to for any questions.
Well, we were talking actually to Coach Wilhelm from Fairlawn last week, and I believe he actually brought up Jerry Harmon's name as well. So he must be a popular guy up in that part of Shelby County.
For sure. And,
very much. Quite a groundbreaking man, yes.
Haley, let's go back to you for another question. You're a senior. Time flies. The senior class. I've got a son myself that's a senior, so I know how things are going for you right now. But let's talk about a little bit about your post-high school plans. Anything in college? Any choices made yet or anything?
Yeah, I think I'm going to attend Bowling Green State University, and I hope to major in pediatric nursing.
Well, good luck to you there. That'll be a very interesting field, and I'm sure you'll do well.
Well, listen, ladies, we're actually running out of time. I apologize for that. I know you were on hold a little bit there. We got a little bit behind in our previous topics there, but I do want to say congrats again on the great season you've had. Best of luck in tournament, and thank you for joining us on the show tonight.
Absolutely, we appreciate the interest and wish all county schools the best of luck in their tournament run as well.
Thanks a lot, ladies, and good luck to you.
Thanks. Take care.
All right, that was the head coach of Jackson Center Tigers, Kim Metz, and her senior, Haley Elchert. And Ken, Marion Local and Versailles did it last year in volleyball. And Versailles looks like they might do it again this year in Division III. At least they're setting themselves up for that. What about Division IV? You think the Tigers can do it?
Well, I think they've got a shot, Craig, but there's some very good teams out there. You got just in the county, you got Russia, Fort Loramie, and Fairlawn that could battle them somewhere down the tournament trail. You're going to have somebody coming out of the MAC, whether it's Marion Local or whoever it might be coming out of that particular district. So, I think like Coach Metz said, Craig, she's got to take one game at a time and not look too far down the road because you never know who could get you.
All right. Well, listen, I want to go back to the sound room real quick before we wrap things up tonight. And guys, I want to check in with you back there. TK, I understand you have some flying to the hoop news, I believe.
Yeah. For those that don't follow them on Twitter, they just released information. Their 2015 schedule will be released a week from today at their annual press conference, which they will hold at Good Samaritan Hospital. They did let out that they have 41 teams, 23 games in 4 days. So that is one action-packed weekend. So next week we're looking for the actual schedule and some more details about that. So always a big event and looking forward to it.
Yeah, it seems a little early to start talking about basketball, but of course that's one of the premier events in this area, the premier event in this area, and we do
not the nation.
And we know a couple teams for sure that are going to be in there, including our Russia Raiders, and I believe Piqua and Greenville's names have also been mentioned.
Yes, they have, Craig. So yeah, it'll be an exciting weekend.
All right, Heavy D, I want to go to you, or actually the both of you guys. I've been told that you two are going to be missing in action next week. I don't know how we're going to get by, but a little trip to the nation's capital, I understand.
We are going to the nation's capital with the Russia 8th grade, and TK and I are chaperoning. I don't know if we're going to be a positive influence on the boys or not. We will try our best and carry forward that Fish Report spirit as we visit the sights and sounds of Washington, D.C. It's going to be a great trip.
All right, well, I guess I'll put a little notice out there for anyone in the viewing area that wants to come in and help us around the sound room next week. We'll take any help we can get.
Yes, we will.
All right, great stuff there. And Ken, one more thing to get to, and that is that trivia question. Why don't you tell me it again? We'll check the telemetrics out and see what we got.
All right, Craig, the question was, who is the last Shelby County League volleyball team to qualify for the OHSA state tournament? Last girls volleyball team to make it a state out of the Shelby County League. Was it Anna, Fort Loramie, Jackson Center, or Fairlawn?
All right, well, like I said at the top of the show, I think Fairlawn was the first, and I know they're not the last. And guys, tell me what the telemetrics say, the Fish Report telemetrics. What do we got on the website?
Yeah, the votes are just flooding in. We've got Anna leading the pack by a fuzz, and Jackson Center coming up right behind them.
All right, well, Ken, you told me to stick with what the viewers say out there, and they pick Anna. That was actually going to be my guess, and I don't remember the year, but I do remember a very nice player by the name of Kelly Barhorst that played for him back then. I'm pretty sure they won the state championship then, and I think she was a part of that team.
Well, Craig, so your answer is Anna?
Anna's my answer.
All right, Craig. Well, Anna was the last team to win the state championship, and as a matter of fact, Craig, Anna's the only team out of the Shelby County League to ever win the state championship.
I got one right.
However, no, you did not. The last team to make it to the state tournament was the Jackson Center Tigers, led by Coach Metz in 2008.
2000, and Anna did it what year?
06. Actually, Jackson's been there twice, 07 and 08.
Oh boy! Well,
back-to-back years.
I hope Coach Metz and Haley turned the show off and didn't hear my answer then. So, all right. Well, listen, that's going to do it for our show tonight. I do want to say special thanks to Coach Niekamp for joining us, as well as those Russia girls cross country seniors, and then Haley Elchert and Coach Metz for being on the show. Ken and I will be back next week. The Sound Room guys will not be, but until then, everyone, have a great rest of the week and good night.
Hanging at the fish report. 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 For your latest news in high school sports, tune in to the fish report. Don't need no bed, don't need no pull. When you tune in to the fish report. Hanging at the fish